right, y'all, we are live inside the digital newsroom. Thanks for joining us, especially on Biased Truth. Thanks for coming on and shooting your love out there in the chat. We're so happy to have you on. It's Molly here and Kyle.
Hey, Kyle and Mike, here we go.
I'm so glad that you're here. So Kyle is here for a semester program, right?
Yes. Interning from Bowie State.
In college.
Yes.
We'll reiterate what we talked about yesterday because yesterday was his first time on the stream. So if you weren't with us, you can check that out on our page as well. But Kyle, tell me what you're looking to get out of this and what we're working on here.
So you know, Fox 5 came to Bowie and we did a thing with SGA and the Royal Court and stuff like that. And you know, I'm a communications broadcast journalism major, so I said, you know what, why not take the advantage and meet people and say, get with Fox. So I waited and I get the internship. So I'm here just to learn, you know, things behind the scenes and learn things on camera. Just meet as many people like you that help me out. And we're doing this thing now. Now we have our segment on here.
Yeah, it's so
it's live.
Fun. Yeah, it's really, really fun to make digital a really good part of local news here. And of course, with Fox 5 being the #1 local news in DC, we're so proud to tout that. It's really fun to bring you this digital stream, of course, to bring you digital video and news and pictures and stuff that you want to see easily on your phone or on your app or whatever you're using to get your news. On the go.
Yeah.
Because that's what society really is right now.
Exactly. Now with this, you know, new age, this new millennial time, like everybody's on the go. Social media, their phone, what's going on, like you get it right there instead of sitting on your TV.
Right. I know that all you guys out there, you wake up, the first thing you're checking, right, is what? Your
Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, for everybody who uses that.
Right. I mean, there's so many different ones. Of course, there are certain generations that sort of went through the stages of using a certain app and then maybe phasing it out. I know which ones I use more often and where I get my news. So we're happy to be part of that. But let's talk about a couple trending topics before we go to some live video today. And first, I want to go back to this because we were talking about this yesterday, and this has kind of resonated with us. The H&M controversy.
Yes.
I don't want to belabor this, but I do want to bring it up because it's still going.
It's trending.
It's trending. It's a talker, and we're still hearing rumblings about what is becoming of this. So yesterday we were talking about this. I'm going to bring you this picture.
Yes.
Again, you know, not to go too overboard with this, but essentially controversy coming onto the corporate H&M for this sweatshirt featuring an African-American boy modeling this.
Yes.
The news that I was hearing today, and again, not quite confirmed, but I was hearing rumblings that P. Diddy is possibly offering this little boy a modeling contract, $1 million. And again,
the Benjamins.
I'm not sure what will be confirmed later, but like there is stuff coming out of this. There is rollout because of this controversy.
Definitely, and I think, you know, that's one thing. Diddy is on it, especially with the hashtag Black Excellence, and definitely give back to his, you know, his people. I think it's a smart idea. I don't know if it's true, but I think it'd be, you know, a smart thing to do. Like we were discussing earlier, a lot of people say, you know, he took the picture of one of his parents, you know, he's modeling what his parents do. But if you look at the picture, it does kind of look like a lot of models do take like one-shot pictures, and sometimes they edit their faces and put different type of apparel on them, just like they do for the NBA players like LeBron James,
and
Steph
I was
Curry.
wondering about that.
The different, like you have their face and they put like, everything's so high tech now where you can edit anything. So maybe he didn't model for this type of clothing. That's something that was being said. Maybe they put his digital face and put his body on another piece of clothing.
I think it's definitely possible. It's actually something I didn't mention yesterday, as was a possible thing that they did here, and such that his, as a minor, maybe his authority, his mom, his parents, whoever were there bringing him to the shoot weren't quite aware because they did superimpose possibly the writing. Again, we don't know, but it's still causing some talk.
And it got a lot of attention. If it got to Diddy's attention, and I'm sure Diddy, I think, like I said before, it's a smart move. Smart move. So I don't know what type of, you know, brand he wants to do. I know Sean, you know, he has a Sean John line, so maybe he'll be, you know, rocking suits. You know, I know he
so cute.
You know, he will look nice in a suit. A nice black man, young little king.
That's what they're calling it.
Young little king. I'm calling him a king. Young little king in a suit. So I'm sure Diddy has a lot of business plans and marketing plans to really make this, you know, be really beneficial. Yeah,
definitely. So this continues to be a talker in social news.
And speaking about social news at H&M, you know, there's a video going around.
What was this?
Basically, a guy is going to H&M and he was basically, you know, going off, like messing up merchandise, you know, talking, you know, badly to the workers. And, you know, it's a way of protesting, but I honestly think it isn't the right way of protesting it. You know, a lot of people sometimes, we want to protest about different things. We got to find the right alternatives and right moves to make about protesting. You know, going to an H&M and protesting the store and stuff like that, it's just going to ruin the jobs for the workers. Those workers who work there, because H&M's real diverse. So there's a lot of African Americans, people from different cultures working there, people who may believe in, you know, what we believe in, how this is wrong, but it's a job. So going there damaging, you know, the merchandise in the store, just doesn't do anything for the corporate. It just, you know, whoever the manager is makes their job more difficult because they're innocent people. You know, I feel like if you want to make a statement that, well, if, you know, if at corporate, so people saying not wearing H&M, you know, may help, but, you know, I can't say that, you know, I'm wearing an H&M sweater now. You know, I do agree with what they did was wrong.
H&M dress, actually.
Yeah, but H&M, for me, really, it's really marketable right now. It's affordable for me. So right now, everything else is expensive. You do have Old Navy and stuff like that, but things that are more fitted to make me feel good, H&M clothing does offer that for me. Granted, I don't agree with this, but when I say I'm not shopping at H&M at all, I'm not quite sure if I'm going to go with that.
This guy that was trying to protest made his statement by what happened. He walked into an H&M and tried to kind of disrupt it.
Yeah, disrupt it. Of course, we can't show the footage because we don't have rights to the copy of the footage. Right. But it's on Twitter. Basically, he's just, you know, speaking his mind out there, trying to find the hoodie and just really just causing problems inside the store. Really causing problems. And one person I saw tweet the other day, a lot of these celebrities are tweeting about, you know, hashtagging that supporting H&M. But then again, they aren't the ones really buying H&M because they're wearing boutique outfits and, you know, tailor-made suits and stuff like that they get from, like, you know, Prada and Gucci and stuff like that. So they probably, you know, have to worry about, they can protest it because they don't have to worry about finding clothes.
Good point.
Granted, you do have Zara, which is a nice, you know, tailored European store just like H&M, but Zara can be pricey, and H&M has some deals where, you know, hopefully they learn from this. I'll just say that.
Yeah, it's definitely, it's an interesting one to think about. Sometimes you will see celebrities kind of promo H&M with like their runway line. Or
Kevin Hart did it, yeah.
Yeah, and I think Kourtney Kardashian did it recently. We're talking about that. But again, this goes just over the whole corporate company of H&M and sort of what it says about them and what will happen from this. You know, now we're starting to see rumblings of deals for this kid for maybe a contract. We're seeing people protest it. Maybe we'll see some other notable people that people follow, celebrities and whatnot, say something about it or do something.
His life is hashtag changing for the better, you know.
I hope good things come out of this. Hey, Julie, good to see you.
Hey, Julie.
We are going to go on with some other topics that are going on.
Definitely.
And first, I want to talk about so we were talking about this, and you just mentioned this in the chat, the mudslides in California.
Yes.
Basically, the news on that is that upwards of 15 plus people have died in these mudslides. Fortunately, I don't have any live video of that right now, although we had some footage of that coming in earlier this morning, but unfortunately, the death toll has climbed to 15. Rescue workers are working on people who are trapped. Or injured or dead.
And they're finding bodies inside the mud too, so that's kind of scary as well.
We have some friends in LA and stuff who have been kind of tweeting and talking about this, and it's they're talking about the flooding there and that it is raining. It's so rare to see Southern California in these dire straits. So interestingly, also of course, some notable celebrities even have been tweeting and Instagramming about it. This is Ellen DeGeneres. Let's pull this up. Yeah, right there it is. All right, so she posted this picture on her Instagram saying, hey, this is not a river. This is the 101 in my neighborhood. Montecito needs your love and support. So even a lot of celebrities are not,
or affected by it,
They're affected. So she was talking about that.
And to me, it's just like, you know, a lot of people like to move to like California, the glitz and glamour, but a lot of these places that, you know, like California, Miami, these places are right there by like the ocean. So like a lot of natural disasters, stuff like that happen at those places. So people may think, oh, it's a nice neighborhood, but that's the cost, that's the risk you got to pay for. So you may have a nice house, but look at the damages that could happen.
It's amazing. I can't even, this picture, it will take us off here so you can kind of see it a little more clearly, but you see some of those buildings almost just halfway underwater even. And like I said, the people there are not used to this, even this
at all
trend, you know? So there's that, and then I want to bring up also, we've been talking about her a lot in the news, of course, but Oprah. What a day, she says. She's praying for her Santa Barbara community.
Yes. And prayers out to Santa Barbara out there in LA, to our sister channels in Fox 5 LA too. If anybody lives out there, prayers for you and your family. Definitely.
I know our sister channel on Fox 11 is probably covering this nonstop. We can get some footage from them as well. But like I said, we did have some live pictures of that earlier this morning. So far right now, we don't have anything coming down. But here, take a look at Oprah's Instagram picture here, just kind of documenting the mud and in her backyard. So that's just her showing.
I'm sure her backyard looks way more, beautiful there than that.
I know, you can't really see it really in regards to this, but you can see in her caption, she says, at the time, they're looking for missing persons and 13 people are lost. Unfortunately, now that toll has risen to 15. We don't know if that can go even higher from there. So we're still kind of monitoring this. I know Santa Barbara County, the police, the sheriff, they're all working on focusing their assets on making sure there's no people still kind of under there.
A lot of emergency teams are out, like she said, saving civilians and stuff like that as well. So they're definitely on it. So
they were saying the mud could come as high as shoulder height.
That's crazy.
In some of these areas, and it's just like I said, it's such an anomaly for that area. Never mind the fact that it's such a disastrous natural disaster, and people are going through this with their homes. So definitely prayers out to them. And again, if we do have any breaking footage of it or news on the mudslides, we'll bring that to you.
That's one thing. Molly gets it done. Molly has all the footage there for you. The breaking news, she has it right there.
Iran, how you doing? Schultze, good to see you guys. Yeah, the 101. Good morning, Pete. Thank you guys for coming on.
What's up, you guys?
I love seeing our regular crew on, which is great. I know some of you guys are elsewhere, and actually a lot of you are on sort of the West Coast. I'm not sure if I have any Californians in the stream right now. If I do, please do let us know what you're seeing, what you're going through. But it is wild to see those pictures from the 101. I'm going to see to see if we have any more video or pictures coming in of the situation in California, but it is pretty crazy at this time.
Yeah, and definitely, a lot of, natural things going on, and sometimes supernatural, iconic things going on as well. But there's been a lot of crazy things going on. I think you had something to say about this, right?
This one, right? We gotta go over here. Okay, I was seeing this all over social media, and then you brought it up, and then we ended up using Fox 5 in New York's footage from this because they had some pictures come in. But I don't know if you've ever seen anything like this, guys. Check this out. I just think this is really cool. This is the Sahara Desert. Is it? Or is it? And the answer is yes.
Yes.
Snow has fallen there for the first time in decades. Yes. This is in an Algerian town, part of the Saharan Desert, or the Saharan Desert area, right? So it happens to be in Algeria. And I gotta scroll through these pics because they're just crazy. But you were saying it kind of looks like what?
It looks like lava. At first you see it, it's like, is this lava? You're like, no, it's not. It looks like, the ads. I said, no, it's not lava. Like, it looks like.
There it is.
It looks like an ocean right there. It looks like a body of water, but then that looks like lava, but it's actually snow. And it's crazy because they said the temperatures here in Sahara Desert are up to like 135 degrees. So this is actually unreal for this to happen and seeing snow happen. So this global warming is intense.
It's great. Dude, just these pictures though, I mean, you think they would come from Nat Geo, but they came from a photographer in the desert area in Algeria. Somehow, they got sent over, they got rights to it. And just scrolling through these, they're pretty amazing to see snow falling.
Probably woke up like, what a beautiful morning. What snow?
What? Yeah. I mean, apparently this isn't completely unheard of. In 1979, that was the last time they saw snow like this in the desert. But like you were saying, it's usually upwards of 130, 135
Yeah, 135 to 140.
Oh my goodness.
That's OC. That's we're used to this being hot like 90 degrees. But at 140 degrees, that's crazy. And then for it to snow, it's like, what is going on?
And that's why they're like, these are just unheard of pictures. I can't believe this. Pretty cool. You really rarely see stuff like this. And really great on this photographer. You can see his handle there in the bottom right corner of the screen. They sent it in. It got circulated around in our sister stations, and now we have it.
So that just tells you that 2018 is going to be an interesting year. It's already, like the second week of January. And this weather is just going to be interesting as well. So hopefully this summer is hot and not cold, because the winter, started off really warm, and this week, it's gonna be up to 60 degrees.
I know. Speaking of that, I'm just looking right now because the weather guys put up this feed, so we can just bring it over.
Perfect.
This is kind of just showing up, right? It happens to be. It just shows you sort of what we're going through. I can't really, I guess, detail this map because I'm not a meteorologist, but I do know that it has significantly warmed up this week. Thank goodness.
We might have called Tucker.
And I think we're going into more cold next week, but it's been really, really beautiful this week. And I'm not even kidding. And I'm just on a personal note, I think I'm gonna host a little wine on the patio night this week, because Thursday, Friday, it's going to be like 58 or 60 degrees here in DC, which is totally unheard of. I think it's going to be just a crazy end of week.
Warm mornings, cold nights. So don't let this temperature fool you, because that's just they're showing the temperature for the daytime, but it's going to get cold.
Oh my goodness!
Right away.
I know. So I guess with that, do we have any other social news that we're talking about? What else are we covering today?
I think we hit everything on the nail.
Those were our topics. Later on, we're going to talk a little more about CES, guys, the International Consumer Electronics Show that's going on in Vegas. 2018's version. Always dropping the hottest products at the beginning of the year. Prototypes for what they're going to go through in the year with TVs, headphones, phones, all these unique gadgets that you would never think of, robots. And I know you guys love this stuff just as much as I do. So we're going to go through a little segment for some of the stuff that we're seeing. We're going to talk to our IT guy about it and have him sort of analyze it. And then later on, we are going to play out on our Facebook page, President Trump's joint news conference with the Norwegian Prime Minister. Now, that is happening a little later in the afternoon, so 3:15 or so, maybe even later, Eastern time. We're going to put that on our Facebook page. But right now, we're getting a little playback inside the White House of President Trump from earlier today, just coming out now. So let's jump over there and just kind of get a taste of what's going on with President Trump before he meets with the Norwegian Prime Minister later today. All right, thanks, Kyle, for bringing that.
All right, thank you, guys. Have a nice one.
I don't think any administration has done what we've done and what we've accomplished in its first year, which isn't quite finished yet. You never know what's going to happen over the next few days. And the achievements for our country, our people, and for our standing in the world have been very monumental. We confirmed an incredible new Supreme Court justice and more circuit court judges in our first year than any administration in the history of our country. And we have many more coming. We've set a new record on reducing regulation and all forms of stopping growth and stopping jobs that were crippling America's economy. Again, the records that we set, 22-1, nobody's ever come close. And the amount of regulations that we've cut is a record also in our country's history, as reported by many newspapers, in particular the Wall Street Journal did a big story on it. And before Christmas, we passed the largest tax cut and reform in American history, including ANWR and including the fact that the individual mandate was terminated, which is a tremendously important thing and a very popular thing. I must tell you, people are supposed to pay for the privilege of not having health care. That was not good. Unfortunately, the courts didn't cut it, but we cut it. So in addition to the largest tax cut and reform in history, we have one of the great oil sites that's now been approved. They've been trying to approve ANWR. I don't know if people know this. For over 40 years, Ronald Reagan tried to get it approved for exploration and for drilling. And for 40 years, they've been trying to get it approved. That was in the bill, an individual mandate in the bill. Since that tax cut was enacted, more than 1 million workers have already received a tax cut bonus, something that, frankly, nobody even thought about. We didn't think about it. Nobody thought about it. We just knew a lot of good things were going to happen. And I must say, AT&T was at the first one, and they did it $1,000 per employee. They have hundreds of thousands of employees. And many companies followed immediately thereafter, and now they're following. I guess the employees are saying, what about us? And millions of employees in this country are getting $1,000 and more, in some cases, tax bonuses because of the tax cuts. Hardworking American families will receive tremendous tax relief. We lowered our tax rates, nearly doubled the standard deduction, and doubled the child tax credit, which Ivanka Trump was pushing very, very hard, I will tell you that. And so was Marco Rubio. And I will tell you that the Republican Senate, we had no Democrat support, zero. They didn't want tax cuts, they want tax increases. They want to raise your taxes. They don't want to cut your taxes. But the child tax credit has become very important to the American family, and they're very happy about it. Our historic reductions to the business tax will raise annual household income by an average of $4,000. That's a tremendous number. The amount of money that's going to be brought in, we think it's going to be close to $4 trillion because of our tax reform. Will be a number that this country has never seen pour into our country. And that's going to create more jobs and more investment. The stock market is shattering one record after another. Unemployment is at a 17-year low. And I'm very proud of this. African American unemployment reached its lowest level in history. Think of that. And on the campaign trail, remember I said, and would constantly say, what do you have to lose? Meaning, what do you have to lose if you vote for Trump? And now, it was just reported, African American unemployment is at its lowest level in history. I'm very proud of that. We're also making America safe again. Yesterday, we had a bipartisan meeting with House members and senators on immigration reform, something they've been talking about for many, many years, but we brought them together in this room, and it was a tremendous meeting. Actually, it was reported as incredibly good, and my performance, some of them called it a performance, I consider it work, but got great reviews by everybody other than 2 networks who were phenomenal for about 2 hours. Then after that, they were called by their bosses and say, oh, wait a minute. And unfortunately, a lot of those anchors sent us letters saying that was one of the greatest meetings they've ever witnessed. And they were great. For about 2 hours, they were phenomenal. And then they went a little bit south on us, but not that bad. It was fun. They probably wish they didn't send us those letters of congratulations, but it was good. I'm sure their ratings were fantastic. They always are. Which is why I think the media will ultimately support Trump in the end, because they're going to say, if Trump doesn't win in 3 years, they're all out of business. You guys will be out of business, but the boom holders are still going to be there, so that's good. Those are the people I like. We agreed to pursue 4 major areas yesterday of reform. Securing our border, including, of course, the wall, which has always been included, never changed. Ending chain migration, canceling the visa lottery, and addressing the status of the DACA population. We want to see something happen with DACA. It's been spoken of for years. And children are now adults in many cases. The numbers are very different, very varying. A lot of people say 800,000. Some people said yesterday, first time I heard 650, I also heard 3 million. Fact is, our country was such a mess, nobody even knows what the numbers are. But we'll know what the numbers are. But above all else, any bill we pass must improve jobs, wages, and security for American citizens. The people who elected us, all of us, the people that elected us, we have to take care of them. We have to have a strong military. We can't play games with our military. Whether we're Democrat or whether we're Republican, we have to have a strong, that's not a point of negotiation. We can't say, oh, we're going to give you money for your military, but you have to give us money for something that, frankly, is much less important than security. And we have to keep our country strong. And our military was badly depleted over the last long period of time, beyond President Obama, I will say, beyond President Obama. Our military was very, very badly depleted. I just spoke to President Moon. He's very thankful for what we've done. They're having talks with North Korea. We'll see how that happens. He felt that the initial talk was extremely good, had a lot of good comment. Rex was on the phone, and Nikki's been totally briefed, but we had a very, very good conversation, and we'll see where it goes. He's very thankful for what we've done. It was so reported today that we were the ones without our attitude that would have never happened. Who knows where it leads? Hopefully it'll lead to success for the world, not just for our country, but for the world. And we'll be seeing over the next number of weeks and months what happens. On a separate front, we are going to take a strong look at our country's libel laws so that when somebody says something that is false and defamatory about someone, that person will have meaningful recourse in our courts. If somebody says something that's totally false and knowingly false, that the person that has been abused, defamed, libeled, will have meaningful recourse. Our current libel laws are a sham and a disgrace and do not represent American values or American fairness. So we're going to take a strong look at that. We want fairness. You can't say things that are false, knowingly false, and be able to smile as money pours into your bank account. We're going to take a very, very strong look at that. And I think what the American people want to see is fairness. Finally, as we begin the new year, I want to thank my cabinet for working tirelessly on behalf of our country. Every single day, every hour, I'm on the phone with almost all of them all the time. And we have a lot of exciting things to go. I'm just looking at Alex Acosta. What a job you've done with our health care. Now, he's Secretary of Labor, but he's very much involved in health care, and I think those rules and regulations will be out around February 1st, Alex, as I understand it. And this is health care through association and associations, and I think that millions and millions and millions of people will be signing up. It'll be highly competitive. He has been able to totally get rid of state lines, so there'll be tremendous competition. And that will be a phase of healthcare that people don't talk about. But I think ultimately you'll have more people than you actually had even in Obamacare, and it's just a segment of what we're doing. So I just want to tell you, I read a lot of those papers last night, and it is really great work, brilliant work. I think it is something that people don't talk about, but it's something that's going to be very exciting and very great. It will be great health care at a very competitive price. There'll be tremendous competition, and it will cost the United States absolutely zero. So we're very proud of that. Thank you, Alex. And with that, we'll start our cabinet meeting, and we appreciate your being here. And you've gotten very familiar with this room. I appreciate your nice comments yesterday. Thank you all very much. Thank you. Thank you very much.
How do you want Republicans to take control of the Russia investigation?
Thank you very much, everybody.
Do you want them to shut down the Russian?
Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.
President, can you tell that you guys are not showing military action in North Korea?
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right, so an inside look there at the cabinet meeting with President Trump inside his meetings. Like I said, we just lost that, so let's pull it back in. Sometimes we get that cool inside look at Trump with his cabinet members, and they, replay it and talk, and you guys can listen into that. So it's pretty interesting.
So welcome back again.
Yeah, welcome back. We're back in our newsroom. You can see behind me on this Wednesday, January 10th. Welcome to the show. If you're just joining us, we are here live on YouTube. We're also live at the bottom of our website on fox5dc.com. So if you scroll all the way to the bottom, if you have access to that, we put it up on the website every day. So if you're not already a subscriber, do join us and press that red button that says subscribe to be part of our channel.
Yes.
I got Kyle with me helping me out today.
Hey, guys.
He's a news junkie, entertainment lover.
Yes.
What else? Fashion. You like
fashion,
all
it all. HBCU King doing our thing,
Got it. Okay, so speaking of entertainment, we got to get into this. I was just kind of seeing this post, and actually something I wasn't really aware of, but did you guys hear about how Tuesday night, so it's last night, Harvey Weinstein, the big name in the Me Too movement, in the sexual harassment cases in Hollywood, was actually attacked at a restaurant that was within the Sanctuary Camelback Mountain Resort in Scottsdale, Arizona, where he is for rehab.
Yeah, he's there for rehab right now.
So he's there, he was there at a dinner with his sober coach when two men sat at a table next to him. And basically the story goes, one of the men walked up to him, said, "I love your movies, I want to take a photo with you." They say, according to reports, Weinstein became belligerent and said, "Hey, get away from me." There's kind of some controversy as to what really happened, who said what.
From fan to celebrity.
Right, and then the manager says that the two shook hands. This guy went back to his table, and Mike's dropping things in my shot.
What's that? Samsung iPhone.
He's gonna throw it.
Well, Samsung is on break.
He thinks he'll be out on his shoot. He's going out soon, right? He's going out soon. I think actually Mike is going to the White House, perhaps.
Okay.
gets ready for that shoot with our political reporter Veronica. But anyway, so Weinstein, so again, in Scottsdale, Arizona, it's around 9 p.m. and Weinstein gets up with his sober coach to leave the restaurant. And then the companion and this other guy were then also leaving as well. There was a little bit to drink there with these two men, and they shot a video.
Drinking, bar, probably, got people kind of excited,
I mean, and then this ensued. So again, this is just crazy because we've been talking about Harvey in a different light, in how he preyed on these women in his movies, these actresses who were trying to kind of build a career and had a hard time with obviously him forcing certain acts upon them, and that was really a horrible thing. So anyway, the video that one of our sister stations obtained, and this was from TMZ, but our sister station got rights to it. We're going to throw it up. Is this? It looks. I'm not going to keep the volume up because I believe it does get a little bit graphic in violence and heated, but you can sort of see that
we can't bleep everything out.
Right? One of these gentlemen did grab their camera out and got a video of this. You can see he's trying to say, "Hey, put that away." You might not be able to get the full effect without the sound, but if we do it here without sound, you kind of get the gist of what went on.
Yeah, just by seeing it.
But it's interesting to see that this is happening, that there is still drama and violence and stuff happening with him, even though he is taken, he's kind of out of the public eye now and into his sober rehab type world.
Getting his life together. But here's what I have to say about that. Obviously the guy probably, it seems like it was a fan, and of course he's a celebrity. So it seems like sometimes with the sexual harassment thing, sometimes fans get too excited, and celebrities are always around people at 24/7, around these crowds, which they like because of course they want the attention.
Right.
But sometimes fans can get a little bit too rowdy, where they can make it seem uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, that usually comes about. I know a lot of things happen with the Kardashians, with people robbing the house, people walking on property. People, they see you, they run up to you, have the phones in your face, and even though you're that type of celebrity, sometimes it's like, okay, I'm a human too, and I want my personal space. But he put his hands on them. So that people get mad, especially when they adore you, because like when you're on the television, when you are in the limelight, and you have some type of relationship with people, they feel like we're friends. Just like people in the morning, like when they see Allison and Tucker and all of them, they talk to them, they can relate, so they feel like we have some type of friendship because you talk, you give them your point of views, we comment, even though they see the comments and sometimes they respond, they feel like we're one. So they sometimes forget that, okay, I see on television where I see in person is different. So some people that it gets rowdy, especially. It's not just for one person's thousands and millions of people, and people are stalkers too.
I know.
People are really stalkers, find out everything about you, hack into your system, find out you everywhere about, especially with social media. You snap in here, this person so-and-so is at a restaurant. Then millions of people find that out, paparazzi, everybody come there and they know where you're at.
Yeah. I don't know if you caught, did we talk about the Golden Globes? Did you watch some of them on Sunday night?
I did a little bit of it.
Oprah and whatnot?
Yes.
There was, and we talked about this too, Seth Meyers did put out a joke, about Harvey Weinstein, how he'd be the only one not cheered for, whatever, he'd be booed at the in memoriam, and it was kind of a dark, like, death type joke about him. He's still, obviously his name is still out there. He is a big name in Hollywood because of what happened this year, because of how the Me Too movement and the Time's Up movement, everything exploded with the women wearing black at the Golden Globes, and so, his name is still out there. It's going to be in the limelight. It's going to be this name that people think bad things with. They associate it with bad things because of what he did. So I thought it was interesting that kind of he's back in the news because he was attacked at this restaurant while he's in his sober.
Once things are going good, some of this comes right back and just knocks it right down.
He's in his meeting to be sober. These other guys say that they're fans, then are belligerent and drunk, and they get in his face. So anyway, just kind of crazy stuff coming out of that story.
Yeah, definitely.
But I'm super excited to still see this women empowerment movement still exist.
Yes.
And to see everything that happened at the Golden Globes, and to see where this really launches. Now, today in the news, we were also reporting this in our celebrity portion of the morning show about James Franco. I don't know if you saw this.
Yes, and the 17-year-old. Yes.
So there were allegations about him, and that he did admit in the past. I believe one of our producers was saying that he admitted it on the Michael and Kelly show
a few years ago.
That he had solicited a younger girl.
Yeah, 17-year-old. It was her friend. So he did admit to that. But then, with it's like hashtag standby. What's it called? Hashtag. It's something with that via hashtag. It's a hashtag that he used, but a girl commented on it saying he was being contradictive and how he did, they were together and he did sexual type of things towards her, and he's saying, okay, I do admit of this things I've done in the past with another 17-year-old, but this 17-year-old coming out of limelight is not true. Yeah.
That's right. I was confused by that, but again, so he did admit something in the past with someone underage.
But now someone else is coming out trying to say he did something. He said, well, I would not agree with that.
Someone else is saying, there's twofold. One is saying one is not underage and is saying he forced me to perform a sex act on him, and then is also referencing another 17-year-old girl. He's denying that one.
The recent one. He's denying the recent one.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what he said about the sex act in the car thing, but did you guys see this?
Yeah.
It was James Franco news from today. And the irony was that he was being celebrated for the disaster artist on Sunday night. He went up there with his brother on stage.
Yes.
Looking great and wearing his
all black.
Wearing his black.
Yeah.
Wearing his black, which I am too today.
Okay. I had my all black. I had my all black on last time, so now it's your time.
I like it. Yeah.
All right, so I was at the Golden Globes, and now you're here now. All right. So
I would wear this.
See, we're a team. I leave, she leaves, she go, I go. You know?
Yeah, my black. I wear a lot of black, don't you?
I love black.
It's great.
Black is.
I like it too.
It just seems really nice.
I like it. We were commenting more today about how great everyone looked at the Golden Globes, and these women, it looked great. And on top of that, they were coming together for an awesome cause. So with all that, he goes up on stage. He has his pin, signifying that he's supporting that movement.
Yeah.
And then that night, I believe, these reports are starting to come out, and because this woman is saying, "Hey, I see you on stage supporting this," and she was kind of saying, "Hey, this is a hypocritical act.
Yeah.
Here's what I have to say about this. This is what he did to me. I was was a budding actress. I forgot her name, but she is out there as an actress in Hollywood," and saying that he forced her to do this thing with him in this car. And so the tweets are out there, the allegations are out there. It kind of becomes a he said, she said thing.
And the thing with that is, once one person goes out and another person goes. I know earlier we heard people talking about it. It seems like when you get that celebrity and something happens, and one person comes out, some people, they say, this girl doing this for, to get exposure, to get attention, or does this really happen?
Yeah.
Because there's rumors being made about celebrities left and right, and if, he did admit to it. So let's start a rumor out, let's see somebody get some attention, well, I look like the victim or something like that, or close to, because I think the girl kind of looks similar to the girl where it happened, to.
I didn't
so she just going to say, well, he did this to me too.
Yeah.
So he's like, well, she's putting that out there. I guess she just wants some type of exposure. But when you put a celebrity, it's like people do make up rumors and then allegations happen, or you did this, she did that. Like you said, he say, she say.
It is kind of. And did you catch, or Pete, you're just saying, if you can't trust Franco, who can you trust? I will say, hearing this is disappointing. I'm not going to say, our anchors were kind of discussing this morning too.
Yeah.
Kind of, what can you say to this? What do you want? What can you believe? What do you want to believe? In the end, there needs to be more solid screenshots and proof about stuff to really know who is to blame for this. I'm disappointed if it does go in that way against James Franco, because I am a fan. Of course, it's awful if he did force someone to do something that was wrong.
Definitely.
And if he preyed on someone that was underage. So there's things here that I think have yet to be investigated. But yeah, I was bummed out to hear that. I know he stood up there and was sort of promoting the movement. And
great actor, by the way. Yeah, great actor.
Winning that award for and of course going on to possibly be an Oscar contender as well. Yeah. And some of you out there might also follow his work in general. Like we all saw 128 Hours and a couple of his other things. And
yes,
I've always liked him. But
great movie, great guy.
Good.
That's his thing.
That's what you think.
Shout out to all his fans. Shout out to him.
I know.
He could be watching. You never know. If you're watching,
Pete, you kind of make a point there. It's like, oh man, if you can't trust this guy who seems like this dude. And,
exactly.
And we've seen him in all these regular type of roles, and it seems like but you never know. You just never know what is undercover. These people coming out. So this all blends into that topic: Harvey Weinstein, sexual harassment, Me Too, Time's Up movement, and women coming out of the shadows, really, and out of sort of maybe a past secret, whereas they couldn't have before.
Exactly.
That is what's interesting to me too, though, the timing when they come out later.
Because it happened.
It's sort of like, well, if you really were concerned, should it have come out then? But
because just like with the Bill Cosby situation, you know how things happen and people. Things that happened back in the 90s, how they just hold on to that and they just, one person, like I said, one person lets it out and everybody just says, okay, I'm gonna let it out too.
Yeah.
So it only really takes one person, one bold person, but it's not other people try to get sympathy off of lies. I'm not saying it's a lie or not, but if it is, why? Because it just embarrasses you. You know what I'm saying? You put that out there. It's so many people in this world where people are going to agree and disagree. But once you get that, sympathy from people and stuff like that, just to say it's a lie, it's like a slap in the face.
Yeah.
So it's like, what do you believe nowadays? Right. You know what I'm saying?
And you hate to put this out there, but you hate to put it out there and say this, but was it possibly, like you said, a plea for attention to kind of get out there in the limelight a little more as an actress? Hopefully not. And I wouldn't definitely, I wouldn't blame her for that. I wouldn't say that she's guilty of that. You just hope that that's not the case because you wonder why it came out so late.
Yeah, so either or, I don't know what's the truth.
Yeah, we don't know what to
But if we find out the truth and the truth, you know, starts to like come in, hopefully, you know, it's nothing bad. I
will say, overarchingly, it's just sad to hear about this in our society with celebrities that little girls and little boys look up to, that teenagers aspire to be.
Yeah,
of course, we have the more sort of, I guess, older, maybe more mature, more veteran actors and actresses who are these mentors, and you know, you hope they're devoid of some of these, I guess, I don't know, of this blame. Like, you hope that they never went through something like that and it doesn't come out later. Kevin Spacey, older guy, all this stuff came out about his younger life. But there are those mentors out there, and you hope that that can stay the case for these younger aspiring actors and actresses.
Exactly. Even not just celebrities, even people like in general. This goes on around the world every single day, every single second. So, you know, this is spreading awareness to, like we said, talked about before, sexual harassment and stuff like that. That stuff needs to, that stuff needs to stop.
Yeah.
Because it's not right at all. It's not right.
Schultz, you're asking what's happening, or who we're talking about. James Franco, the actor, who's just on stage at the Golden Globes for The Disaster Artist, winning. He brought his brother up there, and he touted the message of Time's Up to women. He had the pin right there on his lapel. He is, they're coming out. There's a young actress or woman in Hollywood who tweeted. Unfortunately, I don't have those handy. I don't have anything to kind of show you physically, but there were allegations that he forced her to perform a sex act on him, and then also that he something about nudity in a film. That's something he was directing, and he had this girl perform 100% nude and didn't compensate enough, and all these things. So there were some allegations with him. I'm just hearing something come in. I want to see what this video is. Make sure we don't miss.
It's always hot news coming here at Fox 5. Like always trending topics, live air, and we just got it all.
Yeah, we want to make sure we pull the live video for you instead of just, you know, chatting about celebrity stuff, which is fun too.
Yeah.
So, let's see what we got. So I think this is possibly some footage in California, but I want to be sure of it before we take it. Hang on, let me just look.
And again, shout out to our sister stations in California. And those who have been tuning in, we also talked about the mudslide and everything that's been going on in California, you know, towards Ellen's house and Oprah's house as well.
Yes.
So this is the natural disasters.
Serena Williams is on the cover of
Vogue with her daughter.
If I can find this picture, she has a brand new baby in hand. It's really, really cute. It's making the rounds.
Yes.
Let me see if I can look it up. But
Serena Williams, she's getting back in action. You know, she declined, you know, pursuing everything with tennis right now because she doesn't feel like her body is.
What happened with that?
I think she was trying to get into some type of tournament, and she was supposed to do it. I don't know the name exactly, but she bailed out of it. That's saying that she just thought she wasn't ready, because a true athlete knows his or her body, you know, because it's their body, you know, 100%. So they know if I'm fit to go out to perform, you know, because I don't want to go out there to embarrass myself, because of course they're competitors and take whatever they do so seriously. So just saying, you know, I don't think I'm ready. I need more training and stuff to do. So she said, I'm just going to back, you know, relax, do a little Vogue photo shoot with my baby.
I know, and I wish, again, guys, I wish I had access to this or the rights to be able to show this to you, but Vogue's cover, it's making headlines.
Headliners, yes. She's a nice, beautiful red dress. Her beautiful baby looks so gorgeous. Cute. She looks gorgeous. She's glowing. And she looks good. She snatched right back.
Oh my gosh, right?
Like what, baby? Athlete? Yes, and she still was toned, looking beautiful.
She really
Williams.
I know, right? You have this feeling like when you're a professional athlete, you can just bounce back from anything, including pregnancy.
Yes.
Right?
But see, look, they have that. They know the right ways to train, because a lot of trainers are, you know, athletes who retired or, you know, don't play the game anymore and try to find another, you know, type of hustle and, you know, train people. So she probably knows the right food to eat, and she probably knows the right, you know, training to go through to get her body right back. And a lot of these people and these trainers, if you got the right person and the right nutrition, you're good.
Yeah, totally. Hey guys, I want to bring your attention to this, actually, some breaking footage out of Seymour, Indiana. This is what we're looking at. It's a big rig fire on I-65 in Indiana. I actually didn't know that this was what it was. I was like assuming they were shooting us out to California for more mudslide video, which is severely tragic and unfortunate in Southern California. So if we do have more of that, we'll bring you there. But check this out. This big rig, that's right there, the chopper video from the highway on I-65.
Hope they're safe.
Seymour, Indiana, coming from a sister station, WDRB, there in Indiana. But there's the pan out. That is wild. What a shot, too, when you have those flat sort of cornfields and fields
you want to be
roads.
careful about a cornfield because that can, catch on and that could cause a bigger disaster.
Right. I don't know really enough to know how much or how often maybe this happens or if that does cause sort of a disaster or risk in Indiana because of what's out there. But you can see there's more of a zoom in, a little bit of fuzzy quality here.
And hopefully whoever's in the vehicle or whoever was around that area, hopefully they evacuated it and it's safe and sound. No one's injured.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
it looks like it's
wow, look
getting
at that
worse.
Shot.
Wow.
And I'm reading some of your comments, guys.
Yeah.
From the Williams sisters and how beautiful Serena's baby is to this horrible dramatic footage. Let's see if I have any. No, it's just sort of chopper gnat sound on it. I'm gonna put up a little thing so that you guys know what it is. And then Seymour, Indiana. I don't know much about it. Do you know much about the Midwest in general? I've been there, but
not really. Not really. Know anything about the Midwest, but it seems like something's going on right there. But I just hope that, like I said before, everybody is good. And people who are in the Midwest traveling around this area on the highway, hopefully you're safe. Hopefully you're aware, that what's going on, and hopefully, like I said, the people inside the vehicle, hopefully they evacuated safely. So.
Oh my gosh, I know. You wonder if it was sort of a guy driving the truck and a bunch of stuff in the back, or if there was actually something live in the back, which you never know.
You never know. So I'm sure there's people from the news station that's probably about to hit down there and give us some more scoop of what's going on. But like we said, those who are tuning in right now, we do have a live, chopper footage of the situation, of the disaster that's happening. It seems like a fire, as you can see on the screen. And there are, firefighters, police, emergency people out there to help, put this fire out. But, you watch all these, cartoons and stuff like that where they show you like putting a fire out with just water, but it takes a lot to put a fire out. It takes a lot.
Especially these, right? Because you have all the precautions to be taken with with
little things that could gasoline, little things that could trigger it, grass, wheat, corn if it's in the cornfield, little things that could just trigger to make it worse. But yeah, it's actually not that hard. You watch the cartoons and they just run and get a bucket of water thrown on there, but it's a lot.
You're right. You're so right.
A lot of things that take things to put out the fire.
Guys, sometimes you wonder what those cartoons really taught us as kids.
Exactly.
They lead us down an erroneous path of how you can do things. Yes, I think they did.
It's like the Looney Tunes. You like what's up, Doc? Bugs Bunny that's going somewhere to put out a fire.
Yes, look at that fire, you guys. The red and the orange flames. That is crazy. So this is Seymour, Indiana, guys. About 65 miles south of Indianapolis. It's about an hour drive down the highway there. Also, it's east, or rather west of Cincinnati. So kind of think of it as like an L-shaped Indianapolis. Cincinnati, right in the middle there, south of Indianapolis, is Seymour, Indiana, and that's I-65 there, and that's the big red fire that we're looking at. That's a close shot.
Yeah, that's that heat and everything. And that fire definitely looks like it's hot right now. And speaking about heat and hot, if you guys are tuning in before, we talked about the Sahara Desert. How the desert has snow.
Yes.
As well.
We got to show these again too.
Yeah, let's
keep the big rig up. We'll split the screen.
Yeah, let's split the screen.
And we'll go to both here. Hang on one second. Let me set it up. Keep that fire because that is live.
Yes,
and
definitely.
And then we'll go second box here.
Yes. That's what we do here.
And this is crazy. Did you guys catch this?
Yeah,
I know some of you guys were on the stream earlier, but if you didn't catch it,
if you're just tuning in, we have we were speaking about hotness and stuff like that, and Sahara Desert, a place where it's literally like 140 degrees. It's snow. You wake up, expecting it to be hot, and you see snow.
Isn't that nuts?
And one of our viewers commented saying, those who live out there, the hydration, the snow, will be something to hydrate them.
You wonder, I don't know how prevalent it is that people really are trekking through the desert or getting lost, on a Sahara Desert trek, but this is a portion of the Saharan desert area in Algeria.
Yes.
And so one of our viewers, you guys were like, that would be a welcome sort of respite from the heat to be able to have snow.
A little cool down.
Drink it, if they need water. So I guess you can see some good in that for sure. And also it's just some really significant beauty with the slightly snow-covered desert sand.
Definitely, and we were talking about this, how the global warming, how the weather is changing and stuff like that, and that's a hot place with snow, and now we're talking about it's cold here, it's winter here, and this Friday is about to be 60 degrees.
Yo, guys, it is going to be warm as heck.
You say you're going to be on the patio, cooling it and chilling?
I know. I don't want to take away from the tragic nature of what we're looking at here with this fire in Indiana. But it is the weather patterns and stuff we're seeing, and just, I'm making plans based on the weather this week because it's going to be gorgeous. It's going to be high 50s. I'm taking advantage of that, and let me tell you, my mood is going to be spiked up because the winter weather, man, it is, it doesn't make me happy.
Exactly, does it?
But neither does this, obviously. This is really tragic. Look at that black smoke.
Exactly. It looks like, was it a truck? It looks like it was really, really big.
Yeah, so I guess, big rig sort of connotates that it is a certain size. And you got to be careful, like you said, with that gasoline stuff that can just light up.
And that's the dangerous thing because you don't want no type of explosion or anything to happen.
Those pictures, that's just amazing footage. So again, looking live at this shot here of Seymour, Indiana, about 65 miles south of Indianapolis, with this fire.
Does it look like that's gasoline right there? You see the little reflecting, the liquid right there that's reflecting? Hopefully it's not, but it's some type of liquid, right? Can't you see? Some type of liquid that's on the ground. It's quite
possible, yeah.
But it seems, for those who are tuning in, this does really graphic right now, but it looks like it has been dying down from when we started the live.
Yeah, somewhat.
It looks like it is dying down, so they are taking proper protocol and proper procedures to put this fire out. Like we said before, it's not easy and quick just to put a big old fire out like you may see on your cartoons. It takes a lot of work to make sure everything around it doesn't catch on fire. Of course, you're safe. And it looks like people, the victims were able to evacuate. Looks like, because I don't see anybody around there, or we haven't heard anything about any tragic things that happened to anybody yet. So that's a good thing.
Yeah,
definitely a good thing.
We keep our ears sort of to this type of thing, and then when they send us these live chopper videos, we want to take them to air, but often we don't always find out the extenuating circumstances around them. We don't always find out the stories. What, like some of you guys were mentioning, what did he do or what happened to cause this? I really hope the guy got out.
And it seems like there's another tractor trailer behind it. I wonder if this is probably causing a ton of traffic. So like we said, those who are living in this area, know what is going on. It could be, a lot of traffic today for people who are getting off work, a lot of rush hour, because it's already rush hour, can hit it back home, but this may, make a little delay in your time about getting home. So.
Absolutely. So we'll keep our eye on this, guys. I'll leave you with these pictures for a second. And anything else breaks, we'll come back in and kind of chat about it.
Exactly.
Kyle's hanging out in the newsroom today.
Some nice little electronic things coming up.
Yes. We are going to talk a little bit about CES.
San Francisco.
In Vegas.
Vegas. I'm sorry.
Vegas.
Vegas.
Very close. And again, keeping an eye on any footage that we have of the mudslides in California.
Yes.
Which has just been tragic.
Pray for everybody out there.
Yeah. What a crazy year really it's been. And already into 2018, we're seeing some of these disasters and of course, natural disasters. Looks like the chopper may be pulling out of this, so we'll leave it here for just a second. Right. If you guys have anything you want to contribute or talk about or add, as always, you guys are awesome viewers and very engaged, and you have a lot of thoughts. So thank you for joining us with that, and we'll be happy to kind of have a conversation with you about it.
All right.
It's fun. We're going into the second half of our week on this Wednesday, the 10th. Really happy to be here with you. These pictures are just too good. We'll stay up here and just kind of give you this look until it dies down or until we don't have the shot anymore. Yeah. But yeah, it is just crazy. You think maybe this could even blow even further on camera. You wonder.
It's like when you're just watching, like I just want to see more footage and stuff like this. Footage right here is great footage, like she said. And this, they really had eye on what's going on. So. Right.
Let me fix this a little bit. I-65. There we go. Anyways.
So those who are tuning in, we're just having live coverage on what's going on here. Looks like is a fire, but like we said before, it looks like it is dying down. As you can see, the traffic is zooming out. Is that a house we see over there?
Maybe, or a farm or something.
Okay.
In the far corner, guys, far upper left, I guess, right next to us.
Or straight up,
Straight up. Look at that black smoke, though. It shows you, that pan out kind of shows you how far that smoke goes, and you wonder how far people can see it. Too, granted, I think this area is more just highway stretch and farmland. I actually think I've driven it before on the drive from Cincinnati to Indianapolis, possibly. There's a zoom in on some car, either helping out or involved maybe in some way. Maybe it was part of it. We don't know.
So like we said before, we're definitely trying to get the scoop of what's been happening. But when we get that, we'll definitely put that out there. But we're just showing you live footage of what's going on, so you see it right here live on our YouTube channel. So make sure you subscribe, because we have everything live for you. So make sure you like and subscribe.
Thanks for pumping us out, Kyle.
Definitely.
We're here on YouTube, and I know a lot of you guys already are members and you follow us day to day. But sometimes we go live on Facebook. Sometimes we're here, and we're always on our website on the bottom of our page. Later today, like I said, we try to track the breaking stuff as it happens. Later today, we'll have already planned out President Trump in a joint news conference with the Norwegian Prime Minister in the White House. So that will be live on our Facebook page if you use that for your content. luckily here we get to kind of see what happens every day, and it changes all the time because things break.
We talk about entertainment, then breaking news happens.
You just
but look, Fox will happen first. That's why we're the #1 station, you know? That's why we're #1, because we get it to you live right then and there. So you tune in, bam, we get
And really that's what makes it interesting for us too, right? Because we love people who are news junkies, you guys who love to tune into this stuff. You want to see it as it happens, right? You don't want to be lagging behind or seeing a story after the fact. Let's do it as it happens.
And the beautiful thing about this, if you're not at home and you hear about it on the news,
you can pop
tune into our live channel. We're on the go. So on your phone, if you're watching on your phone, computer, laptop, anything, you know, we're mobile. So we have mobile live news right here for you, right?
On the go.
Yep.
Totally on the go. I'm trying to think if there are other viral videos that we were kind of going to talk about today. There was one, the local man. You guys might have seen this in any memes or any kind of post. I don't have the video for you because we didn't end up getting the rights to it yet. But like, there's that man slipping on the ice.
Oh yes,
it's crazy.
Allison and Tucker and all of them were talking about this morning.
They put it on our TV.
They interviewed him actually.
They did.
He said basically from sources, he said he was just going out on a regular day, and they have a front camera. You know, all these houses electronics have cameras for security. Yeah. So he was walking, and he slipped, and his house is right there on the street where main traffic is. So he said actually a bus. Interviewing him this morning, he said a bus was actually coming down. So he saw the bus coming. So he said, "Okay, I'm slipping. I'm slipping. I'm falling. I can't get up." That's a good song. You know that song. But this making sure he was safe, because he could have fell into ongoing traffic, and that could have been tragic.
People were circulating this video yesterday. It turns out he's a local guy from Loudoun County, Virginia, which is the county close to us in Virginia, a pretty affluent, well-educated county, beautiful homes.
The house was beautiful,
huge. Really gorgeous neighborhood, and it made the rounds. I saw it on various sites that I follow.
Definitely.
Some people saw it on Facebook. Some people saw it on different outlets.
And he said what happened was, when it happened, he like he said, he gladly found a way to go right to the grass. And his wife, first she checked to see if he was okay. Checked to see if he was okay, and then make sure your spouse is good. And she just went back to the footage.
I got this footage.
Put it on social media, Facebook, and she said within like an hour or two, she looked like, oh. We're getting a lot of, viral footage. Everybody's tuned in, looking and, viewing the video. It got several views. So I'm sure I'm glad he's safe, and I'm glad he's happy from this little exposure. He was on Fox 5, so he was happy.
Yeah, it was cool. So they got a little clip from him.
He probably got a little day off.
Yeah. And so maybe you guys have seen it. If you know what we're talking about, it's a funny slip-up moment on the ice, on the black ice, which we've seen a lot of lately, or at least this week. Now the warmer temperatures have really changed that, and everything has melted down. I didn't have to scrape, thank God, my car.
Yeah.
The day after that ice storm, I'm telling you guys, I was scraping that thin sheet of ice on the front hood, on the back, or on the front windshield, on the windows, and you forget that it takes so much work to get your car drivable.
Sometimes the car won't start. You're like, hold on now.
It takes so much work, and that ice is just treacherous, and it is also invisible to a lot of people. It's a danger for a lot of older people out there, younger people, whoever you are. It's you think it's just wet, and it's black ice.
So heading back to the video, if you guys are tuning in right now, we are live. It is a fire that's happening. You see there's actually like a can or something that's on fire. You see the grass, like some fire is caught onto the grass. We have a chopper out there that's actually recording this footage live from the air, and now he's like it looks like a 360 turn and give you like a 360 view of what's been going on. You see the fire over there? It seems like it's starting to happen in the grass.
Yeah, it does.
And it's like it seems like a little not a trash can, but some type of can now is catching on fire.
We were talking about that. We were wondering, does this type of fire, especially with the gasoline, with the cornfields, how does it spread? And I guess it has kind of gotten onto some of that. We'll take our picture off here. It's gotten onto some of the land there on I-65 in Indianapolis, or rather outside of Indianapolis. It's about 65 miles south of that city. So that's what you're looking at, guys.
You see right there on the left-hand corner. They're zooming in.
The light, getting the lighting right. It's really amazing how these choppers can get
these
over
cameras
this.
are amazing.
And they circle around, and they get every angle, and we get the zoom out.
And you see a little bit of starting right there on the edge. You see, so it's like a dip, or So that looks like it. It looks like it's getting better, but it also is getting worse, because it takes a little bit of fire to attach to something, and creates a catastrophe.
Yep, totally true. It's a truck in Seymour, Indiana. Yeah, not a lot of details really still shared with us yet about the story of what happened. And I hope that there's not another small car involved that we just can't see.
Exactly, because they did see two vehicles. There's a tractor trailer right behind it, and it's fine, but it's on the scene. Like we said, there's a lot of fire trucks, police officers, and more emergency vehicles out there to make sure this is tamed. But right now, we haven't seen any victims. I feel hopefully it looks like everybody around there has evacuated, so we are lucky about that. But it does seem like this fire is stopping, but you see little pieces and bits of fire on the field that can start up another one.
And just those flames.
And that cold, those flames, even though it may be out, because
In fact, let me look at the temperature right now there.
like even when you do a fire pit, even though you let out the fire, there's the hot coal and the hot, debris can still latch onto something to make spark up another flame.
I'm looking up right now, and it is 56 degrees in Seymour, Indiana, so it's actually not as cold as I was imagining it to be in the Midwest. But really the stark difference between those orange and red flames against the cornfields and the grass. And
because
it's just amazing.
You've done like fire pits. Like my fraternity, we usually have fire pits. So Make It Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, Epsilon Sigma chapter. So they're watching. Shout out to them. But we actually have pits. We have like things for the school, and sometimes we got to make sure we put the pit out because we don't want any of the hot coal to catch on fire to something, because debris is always flying everywhere. Not saying from the leaf or anything like that, a piece of grass, something that would have been in there to help spark up the flame can latch back onto something. And we don't want a fire to happen on campus. We make sure everything's good on campus.
And I was trying to make the correlation between the cold weather. It turns out it's not even as cold there as I was thinking. It's only 56 degrees. But I was going to try to make the correlation and say we've seen a lot of fire stories in our area. I think things, of course, happen overnight and things spark, but the cold weather, there is a connection to those shocks and those fires spreading. If you remember, just last week, I believe, one of the worst and deadliest fires in New York happened, one of the worst in decades, and the mayor was talking about it, and the fire chief was talking about it, and it was really sad. It was a little boy who, if you guys remember, we were kind of took some of this to air, a little boy who had started it, I think unbeknownst to him, on a stove, and it spread up and down these apartments.
Yes. And what happened was she evacuated the building, but what made the fire spread was she left the front door open.
Oh, was that part?
It was the air. The air
spread it.
So the fire left out the front door and it spread. Of course, when firefighters and them got there, it could have been tamed, but once she opened the door, you're panicking, and when things happen, you're like, I don't know what to do. She left out the apartment complex, left the door open, and it made the fire spread more toward like the west wing of the apartment, because it was on one level. And they spread it down once the fire exited, the door. So,
I remember we were seeing,
and that's sad. That's something she's gonna have to live with. But it's just sad.
A lot of death in that one. I think. I know children were dead. I think it was more than 10 for sure. People. It's a very, very sad story coming out of New York, and it was a record-breaking thing because it hadn't happened in a while. I believe it was in Queens, kind of near Fordham University.
New
and
York.
so a little boy had started it, and some children ended up dying in that fatal fire.
Watch out, because I have little cousins, and they're young. They're exploring the world. There's a lot out there for them to use. So they're just like, what is this? This looks interesting. You want to make sure the stove is off. Because usually back in the day, the stoves used to like tick when the fire was on. Now if it's on. Some things will have an alert system, like I know at my apartment complex, if you leave the refrigerator open, it beeps. So like beep 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 beep, let you know, okay, close the refrigerator. So maybe with these new, everything's new technology. If the gas is on for a certain amount of time, or it can sense that it's not being in use. It can be like it can have a weight, so pots weigh. So if there's nothing on there that can weigh it down, you can say, okay, that means nothing's on here. Let me put out a signal or a type of noise to alert you to let you know the stove is on, because you never know gas and stuff like that. You never know what could happen.
Yes.
So.
Wow. Well, it was.
So that's the idea. If anybody LG or anybody puts that out there, say your boy Kyle put you onto that.
It helped you. You're the expert on it. But I can't get out of my head those pictures of the firefighters in New York fighting those blazing the flames in like a 10-degree temperature or something. It was something really cold that night.
Yeah, really cold.
I always think about that connection between those really severely cold winters and people going through fires, and it happens a lot. I'm hearing these sirens and like. It's a thing that happens in the winter. And it's scary with the shock and with the electric systems and just how things work, the heat.
It's really scary. It really, really is scary because anything happen. Anything can happen.
I'm going to bring you, just getting in some cool footage of just some aerials of New York City, speaking of New York. So we'll bring you, keep that big rig fire there, and then
beautiful.
Here's a pan over of Manhattan.
Hey, shout out to Manhattan.
Isn't it pretty? Anybody there? Anybody watching from New York? I don't know.
Any New York viewers? Shout out to the station in New York as well.
We love it. It's a great city.
Fox New York, we can use some footage for them today.
I know.
This is a beautiful view, just of New York and everything. I'm sure you've been to New York before.
I love it.
Now it gets cold. Talking about weather, it gets really cold in New York.
Yeah.
It's quick. It's the city that never sleeps.
Get off that train and you're just excited to be there. And I think I still get butterflies every time I land or train up to New York.
I was talking to Justin, you know, a guy who's in charge of the morning news. He's going out to the Wendy Williams show, so that's aired on Fox.
Is Justin going to go?
Yeah, he's going this Friday. He's on a break. Yeah.
He told me he was going to eventually try to go. Is he off this Friday?
Yeah, he's going for the weekend to the Wendy Williams show out there filming at Fox. So, you know, that should be fun. I say, well, enjoy. Make sure you layer it up so you don't want to get, you know, the weather is cold. Because New York weather is a whole type of...
And you think about it, it gets so hot in these cities when you're in downtown, it's humid, all these high buildings, it's a hot city life, and then it gets so cold too.
That's a lot of pollution too, because you know, from the cars, because I remember one time you walk past like the vents from the ventilations from the metro and stuff like that. Some places it's like warm, but it's like, do I want to be inhaling this? I want this, you know, on my skin, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, it does get warm in certain places from like the busyness of the traffic and the metro, like I said before. But you definitely, when you're not walking around them areas, is cold. It is cold.
Absolutely, yeah. So some pretty shots of New York in your upper right corner, and left screen, if you're just hanging on or joining us, it's Seymour, Indiana. It's a town about an hour south driving from Indianapolis, and you can see the highway stretch there is I-65, where this big rig, and there you get a little more clear picture of the actual structure of the front of the truck.
And like we said before, like I said, if you were checking it before, as you can see, it was a lot worse than this, but it looks like it is actually dying down.
It does. This is actually better. The black smoke is still there, really thick black smoke, which is going pretty far. When you see that pan out, you can see how much smoke there really is.
Yes.
But it does look like it's dying down, and there seems to be some trucks that are kind of efforting the rescue there. But right, it does look smaller. It looks like it's dying down, which is a good thing. And yeah, that's some crazy pictures. So we're hanging out in the newsroom for now. Hope you're enjoying our footage. I guess we can take it back in for a second. We'll switch it up. If you guys have other thoughts or comments, bring it to us. We're live in the newsroom. It's Molly and Kyle.
Hey.
Kyle's hanging out with us for a few more weeks, or actually a few more months.
Yeah, I'll be here. I will be here.
Yes.
I'm here to stay. Kyle's here to stay.
Love it. And this is your spring semester of senior year.
My senior year at Bowie State University. I serve as Mr. Bowie State, so basically the liaison between faculty and staff. I sit on the SGA board. Shout out to Reconnect the Administration. I sit on the Reconnect the Administration. But also, just being the face of my HBCU on and off campus. I'm actually going to a pageant, Mr. HBCU pageant in Missouri by the end of this month. So just representing that. So this, my HBCU just representing that as well.
Very cool.
So yeah. And I know we're going to be talking soon about electronics.
Yeah.
I know they're talking about the convention that's going on. You said where?
The CES, it's the International Consumer Electronics Show in Vegas. Happens every year in January. Super exciting, and they bring out all the new kind of prototypes, so all the new stuff, the gadgets, the stuff that's going to help you in your daily life, and also some extra things that are just kind of fun, entertaining.
So, even though we're going to touch on that later, gadgets. So I'm like previous gadgets. I know like last year they put out the sample of like the iRobot type of thing, and now this year she's coming to life. Yeah, she's coming to life now. So what is your intake on that? What do you think about it? Isn't that scary?
So, okay, we've seen, I mean, there's a lot of things you can think about this. There's so many movies out there that are like Deus Ex Machina and like this stuff that's sort of warning you, right?
Yes, iRobot with Will Smith.
iRobot, which is way back, and that was an early one.
Yes,
I do remember that. I think I remember seeing that movie and being like, okay, this is interesting and kind of creepy, but it's way in our future. Now that it's here.
It's happening, it's coming to reality.
Now that it's here, there is, I think, what do you guys think? Let us know.
Yeah, comment.
I think there is a little bit of apprehension for me with some of it. I think the tech digital side of me is kind of like, wow, this is so cool that we're able to do this. Like how advanced are we that our people, man made or inspired have been able to do this. But yeah, the extent of the knowledge that they can have and the depth of these robots is a little bit scary.
It's scary because they're actually moving, breathing. They actually feel like real human beings. Back then, the robot was just like a glass or like metal type of texture. Now they really feel like human skin. I know they have like test dummies and stuff like that in hospitals. I know we have a new math, science, and nursing building at my school, Bowie State, and like the robots actually sweat. They actually feel like real human skin, and they have feelings. They make noises to alert. Yeah.
The emotion. I think the emotions and the feelings is what gets me. What do you guys think about all this stuff?
It's scary.
Comments. Yeah, I mean, I think, okay, so when it comes to doing tasks, right, and being helpful and sort of pushing the future, stuff like that, that's a good thing. Emotions and where it knows things and like when it comes to the mind, because
once that robot gains access to its original mind, what are we gonna do then?
I know.
You'd be like, stop. Like, I don't want to stop. Like, stop. I don't want to stop. I'm like, hold on. I told you to stop. But it's scary. No, it's really scary. So we don't want the robots to get a mind of their own because that means they'll be able to use anything. Use the iCloud. Use anything they want. And also, it's taking jobs away from us. You know, and now in grocery stores, it is quicker to do the self-checkout and you talk to the robot and it's like, please scan item again.
Right, essentially it is
but I'd rather, you know, even though it's quicker, but even you don't want it to take jobs away from us people because we need some type of living, we need some type of income to survive out here, you know, because things are getting pricey and everything costs. Like a little, if you want to be oblivious towards it, but everything costs. Money right now is a way of surviving. You know, money is a way of surviving, and so we need a way to make money. And you know, also everything's electronic, which I love, like the Apple Watches, the phones, the iPhones, the FaceTimes. I think that's so amazing how you can, how we're actually watching live footage right now, you know, from Indiana. And also, and speaking about live footage, if you guys are just tuning in, we have
and now it's still going. We thought the fire was almost done, but we still have a live look at Seymour, Indiana at this big rig fire, which is what we've been watching for the past kind of 20, 30 minutes, I guess.
Yeah, and also, you know,
then I think this is still a pan out of New York, New Jersey. They're going kind of more into the city there.
But this is this shows how it's pros and cons to, like, you know.
We have the ability to do.
Yeah. Because, you know, if you want to see somebody, you can see them. If you want to see live footage, you can, instead of, you know, waiting for somebody to record it and then send it out and stuff like that. Everything is, like, hands-on there, like, for your, like, everyday use.
Yeah, Pete, thanks for your comments on the robot stuff. A pretty interesting stuff to follow. And like I said, we've seen all these futuristic movies about this stuff. Looks like the camera's leaving for that.
Yeah.
We've seen them for ages, right? For years, we've seen these movies about this type of thing. And now we're kind of seeing it come to fruition. We're seeing some of these robots actually do these tasks. And
so like these Tron Legacies, WALL-E.
Oh, yeah.
WALL-E. Now, that movie was really realistic because it shows how, you know, robots, stuff like that, are becoming dominant, and how they created, in WALL-E, they created floating chairs where you don't have to walk. You can fly and float anywhere you want, get places quickly without running somewhere. You can just float there and get there by going like 30 miles per hour. But the con to it was it caused obesity. So it's saying how we were so, you know, reliant on electronics, where we forget about our everyday use and our movements, and, you know, relying on ourselves and, you know, moving around, where we relied on electronics to take us places and everything like that, where our health is at risk. So
good point.
I'm gonna keep walking around.
That's a
if
good
I can
point.
fly, I'm gonna fly. If I can hover around, I'm gonna hover around to try the new electronics. But you're gonna see me jogging.
Yeah.
You're gonna see me walking, eating healthy, talking to human beings, and down the phone. Because even when you call companies on the phone, you gotta press like 1, press 2, press all these numbers to talk to all these robots before you can actually talk to like a consultant or like someone, you know, there to help you out.
Yeah, I'll say still the pros of all this stuff being in the digital age, right? I have had the benefit to have grown up in like the time of analog and moving to digital. Like I've seen just the trends in technology have been amazing. In a bit, we'll have our IT guy T come over and talk a little more about some of the new products that we're seeing. We're gonna play a little video with some of the new prototypes and kind of have a little chat about these products. But I was lucky enough to kind of grow up in that because I was able to see sort of the changes. I think it's so beneficial just to see how amazingly in tune our world is and how curious we can be about these things that we've created.
Yes.
And I've seen just so much stuff go on in the digital world, and like that's my passion. I love digital and technology, and I think a lot of you guys probably do too. So I'm sure you'll see some of these items and you'll be like, this is so cool that like 20 years ago I was seeing this and now we're seeing this. And it's been an awesome kind of era to grow up
even
in.
now with the electronic and stuff and automobiles, like a car can park itself. You like parallel parking lot. Hold on now. We, you know, in DC, since we are in DC and the parking can be a little crazy, the car can be like, I got you, and park yourself.
Yes. Schultz is saying WALL-E was a sad flick. I do remember people being feeling sad about it. Was it Pixar?
Yes, it was Pixar. Yes.
Yeah.
So Pixar, it definitely was a Pixar movie, and you know, Pixar is definitely just graphics with like anything. It was a child, you know, movie.
Yeah, it was.
And just speaking about children and stuff like that, the animation and stuff like that with Disney. Now our cartoons, it was like, you know, it was cartoons, but now everything's like animated, where it's like now Pixar, and it looks clearer, they look more realistic, you know what I'm saying? Everything it seems more high tech, which is good. We should be progressing and getting better each, day and each time and each year, but those old days you just kind of miss,
Yeah, no, absolutely true. Really good point about the movie. There's so many movies about this type of world and robots sort of advancing our future. Some were made for children, and some are a little sadder than others, and some are serious and like predict something that could be really scary, like iRobot.
Like I said yesterday, or last time was on hashtag anything can happen, anything is possible. Like a lot of these movies, a lot of these directors, I feel like are geniuses. Even from The Simpsons, how they predicted things from a while back. Even on the Boondocks, they presented a show that used to come on Cartoon Network, predicted Oprah being president in 2020. So all these type of, films and different shows or cartoons are predicting things that are happening, and we can't be oblivious and like, oh, that's funny for right now. No, these directors are saying, this is what I know. I have some type of psychic type of vision letting you know what can happen. So we got to use this as a wake-up call. Like, look, this could happen. So let's wake up. Stay woke, we used to say last year.
Well, I love that we're getting in from actual news about what is coming out in the digital world and technology to talking about these movies, because it is also relevant. But we'll have that little segment for you guys in a little bit.
We'll get to that.
This really cool piece from our morning show highlighting some of those prototypes, so you can see what is going to go out there, what's going to be on the market in the digital world. That's going to come up next. We're going to take a little break and just show you some footage from this morning where the mudslides that are still devastating California. You guys, at least 15 people are dead is what we know, and there are hundreds of people are still cut off from debris because of the heavy rain, including some celebrities who have homes in that Santa Barbara area.
Yes, celebrities we watch every day.
Lots of heavy rains, lots of mud flowing deep enough to even cover your shoulders, what I was reading. So pretty tragic stuff, but we did have some video of it from earlier this morning that we didn't play out. So we're going to leave you with that for a second and then come back in a little bit with more.
All right, we'll see you guys.
Thanks. All right, guys, so some really pretty pictures of California despite that damage, which is just severely devastating and tragic, but some gorgeous pictures over the mountains there in Malibu, California, where I just was in October. And I was mentioning it's just crazy to see California going through some of this stuff, the natural disasters, the fires we've seen, and now this flooding and mudslides. And yes, I've been experimenting with the music a little bit, so I've been trying to jump around with bringing you some cool background music with our video. But hey, let's switch it up as we go into sort of this last 20 minutes of our show. I want to play out this video from this morning's show on CES, the technology trade show, the Consumer Electronics Show in Vegas. And actually, T, who's right behind me, I think he's going to join me to kind of watch this video. We're going to go over some of those products and get some expertise from our information technology dude right here, T. So I want you to watch this with me, and I want you guys to tell me what you think too. I think every day this week they may highlight some more of these prototypes, and I'm telling you, I have a favorite from today's segment. I want you to guess which one I love the most when you watch this, but I love some of the stuff that's rolling out today and this week in Vegas. So they sent some of these prototypes to Dallas, where Steve Noviello, one of our correspondent guys that we talked to in electronics, was reviewing them. And so we're going to watch that piece now, and then T and I are going to talk about it. Okay, check it out.
Never seen before. Plus, a backpack that may let you catch a few Z's.
Oh, bring it on, then. Consumer reporter Steve Noviello has his hands on the next generation of technology being unveiled at the International Consumer Electronics Show this week, live in Dallas right now with a look at some of the good stuff. Good morning, Steve.
Good morning.
Good morning to you guys. Yeah, we've had some of our partners send us prototypes here to Dallas from the show floor in Vegas, and we'll start with that backpack. Here's why it might help you get a little bit of sleep. If you're the type of person who kind of rests with one eye open at the airport when you're waiting for your flight because you're worried your bag is going to get stolen, this is the Cabin R backpack. It uses RFID technology to activate an alarm. That way, if your bag is taken or jostled, it will actually sound an alarm, wake you up, you grab the thief, you're good to go. Has different sensors on it to adjust the sensitivity so that when you've got it maybe in the overhead bin on your flight and you hit some turbulence, it actually will not sound. Out here, take a look. This is the Life Print, not only photo, but video printer. Take a look at the video we've got for you. You'll see what I'm talking about. This is augmented reality hyper photos. They come to life when viewed through the app. You can share them with friends. You can print to their printers as well. Uses zinc film, so there's no ink or toner to worry about. So this is really cool if you're into scrapbooking, right? They look like regular pictures, but then when you view them through the app, they actually come to life and you can see the movies behind them. Speaking of great video, take a look at this. These are called Orbi Prime. This is a prototype from the company. The world's first 360-degree video recording eyewear. Think snowboarding, biking, kayaking. They're water resistant, so you're good to go. Take a look at the video we've got for you. Hands-free, first-person images in full 1080p HD resolution, 60 minutes of record time, built-in Wi-Fi, so you can actually share your experience. Now, they're going to come to market in about April. They'll be about $650. Early adopters, you can hop on their funding page right now and get them for $399. This is the Root coding robot. Let's go ahead and start the sequence here, and we'll talk about it. You know, as technology outpaces education, moms and dads are left sometimes with this idea to teach our kids about stuff that we don't know about. This teaches your children how to code, first with simple shapes and instructions, and then all the way into coding language. This kind of education is what's going to make the next generation of leaders. Speaking of the next generation, our folks at LG Display always amaze us every year, and this year was no different. I want you to take a look at some video they sent to us where they have unveiled their 65-inch UHD rollable OLED display television. The entire 65 inches rolls up into a small box for easy portability. Can be put away when you're done using it. Think of it as a projection screen that doesn't need a projector because the screen itself is a display. So cool party trick, but let's talk practical, right? LG Display lets you roll it up the screen to match different aspect ratios. So fully unrolled, great for watching TV. Retracted a little bit, the aspect ratio changes, great for watching movies. Or maybe you just want a little sliver on the bottom, great way to have the coolest time and temperature and photo album on the block. And finally for you, watch from Matrix Industries. What makes this different from any other smartwatch that you have? This one uses thermoelectric body heat. It recycles your own body heat to actually charge the watch. It never needs to be plugged in. It never needs to be charged because you provide the energy that it requires to keep running. Links to some of these great products right now from the floor at CES, including how to get in early on these glasses right now. Facebook.com/SaveMeSteve.
All right, that was the segment from this morning's show with Steve Noviello. We often use him for the tech stuff and the electronics reviews, but now we have Terrence, our IT guy. We went through all these products. We were talking about them as we were watching, and I know you guys were too. All right, let's start at the beginning, the backpack. It's there for travelers if you want to be able to sleep and not sleep with one eye open. If it gets moved, you get an alarm. I think that's a little more trouble than it's worth. Yeah. I mean, that's my thought. Like, I think maybe if you're super in tune with that and you travel all the time, maybe you've had issues with that, you want that safety. It says there is a safety thing on it so that if you hit turbulence in the plane, it won't just go off randomly. But I sense like some problems with that, right?
Yeah, I think you could definitely run into a few issues with that. Being that so first of all, these new products, everything that's in CES is basically going to be a part of what's called the Internet of Things. This is when different products like your backpack now, your fridge, your washing machine, your everything, these regular appliances all have IP addresses where they're connected to the internet. Essentially, so if they're connected to the network, like anything else that accesses the internet can also be hacked. So I'm sure that's a con to it. But I mean, for what it is, I think that's a pretty good product. I don't travel that much, but usually when I do, I'm good with just a duffel bag. I think something like that it might be.
And like, are you sleeping all the time at your gate that you must get in every hour of sleep? I mean, I think it depends what type of traveler you are, what type of worker you are. I'm not sure what you guys think. One of you asked about if a thief takes it, can it not be moved without sounding off? I believe that's the case. If it is moved in any way, if it's triggered, if it's wired right, there will be an alarm. So to me, I think it really depends on what type of traveler you are and if you rely on that and not, sleeping at your airport, sleeping at your gate with your bag. Let's move to the next product. Let's talk about there was that printout, photos and videos where you can print video.
Oh yeah.
That's kind of crazy.
So it's basically, what it looks like to me is basically it's making physical GIFs or GIFs, whatever you want to call it, like short videos.
I mess up the word too, don't worry.
It's GIF. It's GIF.
Yeah. But so basically,
that's crazy.
So Apple already has like a sort of feature like that, and I'm sure Samsung had it before. But it's like where you hold the photo button, it becomes a burst photo. So it's like a short video, like a really quick like GIF almost. So I think this is pretty cool actually because you can use it for Facebook videos and several other things. They say if you print it out, then you can actually get on Facebook and it'll do the same thing. But you need a camera for that to work.
Yeah.
So. I mean, it's kind of
like you have to be able to record a GIF, is what you're saying.
Yeah, you have to record it physically in order to see the video.
Okay.
But I think it's cool. It's secure. It's kind of like popping open like an old school CD. Like it's there, but then if you put it in or if you put your phone over it, then it moves and you can actually see the actual video or whatever it's storing.
Yeah.
That's cool. It's like a live when you take pictures and it's like live. I think that's how you take a picture on iPhone. You can hold on to it and it moves. Like how does it? It's like, people say they like to cover their iPhone or like on their Mac because they feel like someone's watching. So that kind of proves justice, does it? Because it's like, even though the phone just takes that picture, it's recording stuff too. You know what I'm saying?
That's a good point. Yeah.
Augmented reality, which is a term that we've heard lately in general in like tech stuff.
Which is basically just like fake reality.
Changing, right. And then, okay, let's move to the next product. Those were cool, but hey, you got to know my favorite, and that is the next one? Wait, let me find it. I just want to see what he went through.
No,
he talked about a couple of things. Let's go to the GoPro glasses. You guys were commenting on that.
Oh, yeah.
So that's exactly what I called them when I saw them, because I was like, this is great for adventure sports people who create videos, YouTubers.
Yeah, Kyle was actually saying this is going to change up the YouTube game.
Like glasses.
because now people are going to be able to see from every single angle,
it's every angle, so it's
behind
360.
the person.
And the cool part is too, even just the simple fact that you're wearing them versus holding a video cam, right?
Yeah.
So holding a GoPro, sometimes people would clip it to their thing and like do some, hikes and camping. Yeah. Skiing, of course you could do that. I see it similarly, but it just happens to be that you're wearing the glasses and you can get the 360. Is that right?
Yeah. Yep.
So that's pretty cool.
I think they will advance that soon with like, I guess, getting like a sky view and also like the under view. Like, how do you get those views? If you're gonna try to get more angles of a camera instead of just one, like a regular camera does,
and
then you're gonna want the top, bottom, everything.
Okay.
Like, so eventually,
beat the human eye.
Yeah.
Know?
Isn't that crazy?
Exactly. Yeah.
Gosh, those glasses are cool. Let me know if you guys would be into using those. Maybe you have adventures that you would take them on. I was trying to think. I was like, I could see myself using this, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I would go all out for it, depending.
You want to know something? Well, who could collaborate with it too? You know how they had Samsung and Google had the
Google Glasses.
Google Glasses, but men had the Samsung thing where you can actually view another world.
Like the VR headsets.
Yeah. Watch it collaborate with them. You can still see, and you can click a button or download something and to be in a virtual world.
They could probably
just pull the headphones at the end. See, we go ahead and.
Oh, they need me in the booth.
He's gonna help with someone. So we're gonna talk about the TV. He's gotta go.
Sorry, guys.
So Kyle, my favorite. Did you love the TV? Just give us a quick comment on the TV. Did you love it? The roll-up TV.
Yeah, the TV is sick. I think that's incredible. I remember seeing this a couple years ago.
That it was coming.
Yeah, it was kind of coming, and then also the kind of TVs that are like embedded with your mirrors and stuff. Like if you go wake up in the morning, brush your teeth, you can see the
super cool.
the weather and all
yes.
that. Like basically like a dashboard.
Awesome.
Kind of, if you've seen the episode of Black Mirror, you definitely.
Yes, we were talking about this yesterday. Thanks, T. So he's gonna run upstairs.
Busy man.
The TV, I know, was definitely my favorite. Again, it rolls up like wrapping paper into that sort of box that you have. You can keep it as sort of just a dashboard with the weather and the time and a picture. Be the coolest person on the block, as Steve says. Or you can bring it up and it rolls up into that bigger aspect ratio. Watching movies, watching TV. You can define your own aspect ratio.
I feel like that's so cool.
Awesome?
Because now it has the width and now it has the length. Of like a movie theater.
Yes.
Because movie theater screens are like really really tall.
Yep.
And like of course everybody the widescreen everybody has that, but now you have a TV that is actually can just automatically move all the way up and down to adjust into your liking. So maybe you don't want to be looking all the way up; it can be low. And I know, like you said before, how to have like the alarm system and meets halfway music. That's so cool.
It's awesome. I love honestly the retractability is so. It's so interesting, not even just like that it's fascinating and cool, it looks really great. It's super efficient, right? And you can actually fit other things, on top of it, around it, next to it. You can even disguise it if you don't want it to make it look like it's in your living room.
You got a picture behind it, like where's the TV? Like beep 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 boop, and they come up there.
Totally. It's cool for having people over. It's cool just for yourself. I was really digging that. No price on that yet. Like she says, these are prototypes that kind of have GoFundMes and come out.
How much do you think it will be?
We were talking about this, so we tried to look it up, and we were like, okay, there's no price pinned on it yet because it's not, it's not really out there in the market, but it is coming, and people are talking about it. 65 inches, retractable TV, roll up. I was gonna say between 10 and 20,000. What do you guys think?
I think it'll be like, if an iPhone has gotten to the price of almost 1,000.
Almost 1,000, about 1,000.
And I heard the iPhone X Plus is coming out too, so almost $2,000 phone is available. Double it? I think so. So if almost $1,000 phone from Apple, if it's happening, then I'm sure the TV could be like $10,000 to $20,000 because that TV is iconic.
And we were kind of researching things that would be kind of similar, and we found some Samsung model that was 65 inches that did something similar. I can't remember exactly what it was, but there were some specs about it, and it was actually $20,000, and I was like, no way would I pay that for a TV, or like, would you, or does this model deserve to be that much money?
And see, it's always the things you expect to be expensive, be cheap, and the things you expect to be cheap, be expensive.
Give and take.
Yeah.
I don't know, but that was definitely my favorite model of what he showed out there, and obviously some cool things with the GoPro. I'm trying to think what else he showcased, but
the watch.
The watch was cool. Thermodynamics.
We charge our own stuff now.
Their own heat.
Everything's like
that's really cool.
How like the solar and the energy to help the buildings.
I love that. I actually thought that Matrix watch was cool. Would I use it every day? I don't know because I wear other watches and stuff. Some people are really addicted to their Apple Watch. Some people love the analog look. Different things. I think it is really neat though that it recharges like that. That is clever,
but that's just like because we naturally produce body heat, but. I think that's smart.
Schultz saying we'll have our own floating chairs soon. Good, that's a good one.
Wally.
I know, right? And TV manufacturers are always looking for a gimmick, 3D curved bendable. Yeah, It's true. We were saying, what else can they do with TVs now?
You want to know what else I can do?
Curved.
You want to know what else I can do? I got some. See, look, Samsung, if you listening, make sure you get us in it, all right? We can do some promo for it.
Yes. What is this going to be?
Look, so you know how everything's like, you know how projectors, say you don't have a TV, you have a little projector and have like literally, you don't have like virtual things like you did like concerts, you have like a virtual TV. So actually they're moving right there in your house like they're really there. Just have like a little space and say you're doing a show with like a virtual live screen of it, like how, say where could be virtually live in your house.
Yes.
The show is already sitting there, but like a virtual.
Just be there. That's probably way in the future, right?
2020.
All right. Wait, that's soon.
Yep, 2020. Yep. Everything's happening soon. All these inventions are happening so quick.
But like I said, I truly do feel so lucky that we are in this generation because we're seeing all of this.
Everything is coming to life.
And I feel grateful for it. Like I may be quite older when some of these insane things that we predict now are happening. We're seeing the future now. I mean, we are with that TV, with the cool stuff that's coming out with video and the virtual reality, just VR stuff in general.
So
I want to be at CES this year. I will tell you, I would love to try all the new VR stuff with the glasses. I have some friends in that community in tech that work in VR, and I'm just like, they live fascinating lives, and they show you what the future really is like.
And it's just like they just showed us a few items on Fox this morning. Imagine at the convention, thousands of stuff.
So cool. I encourage you guys to follow them actually. CES Official on Instagram if you do use that app.
I'm definitely following.
And just go online and kind of see their website. They're showing some cool stuff in the moment of what they're showcasing, and I'm like, these robot type things and this and that, and then of course they all go to like fun little get-togethers and happy hours at night, and they have these robots performing, and they have everything is digital and tech, and you guys know, especially you guys who are over there on the West Coast, or it's happening real time for you. And Ron, I think you're in Vegas, so you kind of are seeing the rain and you're seeing sort of the hype of what's happening, and it's a huge deal. I'm really excited to kind of see the segments going forward this week because we're going to cover, hopefully, kind of what is coming out day to day with CES, and we'll try to bring them to you on the show this week too. So,
yeah, because I'm sure new things are dropping every single second.
It's fun. It's really, really cool. What a cool time to really be alive. I'm not even just saying that. It's truly an awesome time for digital and tech, and I'm really glad that we can bring this to you on our show today because it's it's happening this week. So that will sort of roll down our hour, guys. This last hour of the show. We usually go from 11 to 2. Today we got up a little later because Mike wasn't in here to do weather, but as the weather changes and we see some cool weather patterns, and then of course as we go into winter, if we have any snow related stuff, we're going to come up with weather for you, and then we go into breaking news with me and hopefully Kyle as he's here for the semester.
Yes.
Whenever he's here, I got you, I got intern Caroline.
Monday, Wednesday, Friday, he'll be here.
Glad to see. Oh, perfect. Now I know. So he'll be here, and we, as always, Schultze, Ron, Pete, Kathy, if you're on, whoever else is with us, thank you guys for engaging with us day to day and for enjoying our live coverage. You know, we're kind of all over the place. We're raw, unedited, kind of haphazard at times, and we appreciate you following our stuff, whether it be political, tech, arts, whatever it is we have to bring to you on this week in DC here, this second week of January, right?
Yes.
Going into it. Already into, can't believe it, 2018, second week, and it's been a good one. I've been really excited to be back in the new year, back at Fox 5 Live with you guys. So do join us, and any last thoughts or comments? Oh, remember, we're gonna close down the YouTube stream. If you want to see President Trump with the Norwegian Prime Minister, they have the normal joint news conference at the White House. They open it up for a couple press questions, and then there is the foreign press, there's the American press, and it's just a regimented sort of statement from the Norwegian Prime Minister and then a statement for President Trump. So you'll hear from both of them. We will have that live streaming on our Facebook page. So join us there. And join us on all our platforms, Twitter, Snapchat, Insta.
Oh, exactly.
We do it all. And all right, guys. Thanks, Schultze.
I think we should go ahead.
Yes, I wanted to comment on the doctor because I know you mentioned this quickly.
Oh, yeah.
We have Dr. Shilpi who often joins us, and thanks for saying that you really love that. I love that segment. I usually try to get her, book her for a segment a week because she has her busy life with her doctor stuff and her clients, and then she also devotes some time to our morning show here. So when I can get her, I will always have her on for a segment. Hopefully on Fridays is my goal. Maybe on Mondays if she's able, but we're going to hope to make sure we book at least one a week with Dr. Shilpi. I'm so glad that you love her. I love the health segment as well. It's one of my favorite to do because those topics are also changing all the time and they're relevant to us, and I just love health news. So
you might keep fit, keep it moving, be healthy.
Awesome. Yes, so especially in the new year.
I think since we're about to end, we might as well just dab it out.
You want to?
Yeah, let's go. One, two, three.
Hey. All right, you made me do it. I'm getting back into that spirit. You guys, so yeah, join us tomorrow. We will have the doctor on more often. And T, what's up? Terrence has joined.
Hey.
Schulte, Pete, and Iran. You guys, all right. I'm just trying to back up with your comments. Okay, cool. So yeah, T just ran upstairs to help somebody, and then he got on our stream. So
he's here with us.
You know, he's always with us. He is your cryptocurrency aficionado. So if you have questions about that, he'll be back on to talk about that. He knows it. T. So good. All right, guys. Take care. Have a great and safe Wednesday. We'll see you tomorrow on Thursday.
All right, you guys. Have a nice one.
Cloudy day in DC. We'll give you the shot of the White House here. Bye.